Welcome to Emerald Chronicle, where we uncover Ireland's hidden histories and forgotten legends. Today, we explore the gripping tale of Eamon Ned Broy, a man whose double life as a spy shaped the fate of Irish independence. A detective by day, an Irish revolutionary by night, Broy played a deadly game against the British crown. What secrets did he uncover in the archives of Dublin Castle? How did he escape the gallows? And why does his legacy still haunt Irish history? Join us as we unravel the mystery of a man who walked the thin line between loyalty and betrayal. Ned Broy was no ordinary policeman. When he took his oath as a detective in the Dublin Metropolitan Police's G Division, he swore allegiance to the British administration ruling Ireland. But as the streets of Dublin echoed with the whispers of rebellion, a conflict brewed within him. Why did he choose to betray the very institution he served? The Dublin of the early 1900s was a city caught between two worlds. On the surface, it was a thriving colonial capital, its grand Georgian streets patrolled by British officers and Irish policemen alike. Yet beneath that facade, a revolution simmered. For men like Broy, loyalty to the crown was a complicated matter, not just a duty, but a burden. The rise of Sinn Féin, the armed resistance of the Irish volunteers, and the ruthless intelligence war waged by British forces made neutrality impossible. In the shadowy halls of Dublin Castle, secrets were currency. As a member of the G Division, a feared unit responsible for tracking down rebels, Broy had access to classified intelligence on Irish revolutionaries. The very men he was supposed to hunt, Michael Collins, Arthur Griffith, and their comrades, were fighting for something he believed in. This moral conflict led Broy to make a fateful decision: to risk everything and spy for the IRA from inside the heart of British power. Broy's espionage was not the impulsive rebellion of a young radical. It was a calculated, deadly game. He smuggled intelligence reports to Collins, warning of impending British raids. One night, he took an even greater risk, smuggling Collins himself into the archives of G Division. Surrounded by police records and surveillance files, Collins devoured the secrets of the enemy. With Broy's help, the revolutionaries gained an edge in the intelligence war. Broy's role as a double agent was a deadly gamble. With every document he leaked to Michael Collins, he edged closer to exposure. British forces were ruthless in their hunt for informants. Interrogation, execution, and betrayal were constant threats. How did he escape their grasp? The intelligence war between Irish rebels and British forces was brutal. Assassinations, counter-espionage, and deception ruled the streets of Dublin. British officers operated under constant suspicion, knowing that somewhere within their ranks lurked traitors. The G Division was their first line of defense, a highly trained unit tasked with tracking down IRA operatives and informants. Every move Broy made carried the risk of discovery. In 1920, suspicions within the British administration reached dangerous levels. Key IRA figures were being eliminated one by one, but Michael Collins remained steps ahead. The G Division could not explain how their reports kept falling into enemy hands. Broy's espionage had made the IRA's intelligence network formidable, but had also made his position untenable. Arrest was inevitable. One night, Broy found himself surrounded. Interrogation inside Dublin Castle was a harrowing ordeal. Suspects were broken down through psychological warfare, threats, and relentless questioning. Broy endured hours of scrutiny from British officers, his fate hanging by a thread. The noose tightened until an unexpected event shifted everything. Instead of execution, Broy was released. Some whispered that higher powers had intervened. Others believed the British feared retaliation from Collins. Whatever the truth, Broy walked free, but the danger was far from over.
There is no crime in detecting and destroying in wartime the spy and informer. They have destroyed without trial. I have paid them back in their own coin. Michael Collins, commenting on Bloody Sunday, as cited in the Little Green Book of Irish Wisdom, edited by Dermot McAvoy.
Ned Broy was a sworn officer of the British administration. By all accounts, he should have been considered an enemy of the IRA. Yet, Michael Collins saw something different, an asset, a man whose position could turn the tide of the intelligence war. Why did the IRA trust a detective working for their oppressors? Trust was not easily given in the Irish War of Independence. British informants lurked everywhere. Landlords, civil servants, even family members could be compromised. Yet, Michael Collins had an unparalleled instinct for loyalty and deception. When Broy first approached the IRA, Collins did not dismiss him outright. Instead, he watched, tested, and assessed him carefully. To Collins, information was more valuable than ammunition, and Broy had access to something few others did: Britain's intelligence files on Irish revolutionaries. Broy proved his allegiance through action. He delivered intelligence that saved Irish volunteers from capture, warned of impending British raids, and secured critical police files. One night, he facilitated one of the most daring acts of espionage in Irish history. He smuggled Collins into the G Division archives, allowing him access to top-secret British surveillance reports. It was an unprecedented breach of security. This act alone cemented Broy's reputation within the IRA. Despite his critical role, Broy never fully stepped into the limelight of the revolution. He operated in shadows, his name known only to a trusted few. Collins understood the importance of keeping Broy's position hidden. Exposure meant certain death. Broy himself knew that any wrong move, any careless moment, would cost him his life. Yet, he remained steadfast, delivering intelligence that shaped the course of Ireland's struggle for freedom. His loyalty was not just to Collins, but to the future of an independent Ireland.
In war, information is power. He who controls knowledge controls victory. Michael Collins, as cited in The Man Who Made Ireland, The Life and Death of Michael Collins by Tim Pat Coogan.
Spying for the IRA was not without consequences. For men like Broy, the cost of betrayal was steep. Endless danger, constant surveillance, and the ever-present threat of death. What price did he pay for his double life? No one walked freely in revolutionary Dublin. The city was a battleground where spies, soldiers, and rebels played a deadly game. Broy had chosen his side, but in doing so, he had sentenced himself to a life of secrecy. He could not speak openly of his allegiance, nor could he ever let his guard down. The British intelligence network was ruthless. One slip could mean interrogation, imprisonment, or execution. The stress of deception weighed heavily. A double agent had no respite. No home was truly safe. No conversation was free from suspicion. As Collins intensified the intelligence war against British forces, Broy's role became even more precarious. The G Division began closing in on IRA informants, and Broy knew it was only a matter of time before someone betrayed him. He could not trust even his own colleagues in the police force. The cost of espionage was not just physical, it was psychological. Broy lived with the knowledge that his execution could come at any moment. His mind remained sharp, alert to threats, but exhaustion crept in. Few understood the loneliness of his position. He was a revolutionary, yet he could never stand openly among his comrades. He was a traitor to the British administration, yet he was still bound by his detective's uniform. His life was a paradox, one that demanded constant vigilance.
The fate of a spy is never written in history books, it is lost in shadows. Unknown Irish intelligence operative, as cited in The Secret War, Irish Intelligence from 1916 to 1945 by Eamon Broy.
Every spy has a moment where the risk becomes almost unbearable, a point of no return. For Ned Broy, it was a single daring act that placed him in the jaws of death, yet secured his legacy as Ireland's forgotten double agent. What happened that night? In 1920, as the War of Independence reached a fever pitch, British forces tightened their grip on Ireland. The intelligence war was escalating, and Collins needed every advantage he could get. This was the moment when Ned Broy took his greatest risk, an act that defied all logic and placed him in mortal danger. Broy's mission was audacious: smuggle Michael Collins himself into the heart of British intelligence, the archives of the G Division inside Dublin Castle. It was a suicidal gamble. If caught, Collins would have been executed on the spot, and Broy would have faced certain death. But Collins needed access to intelligence reports, the very files that mapped British surveillance operations against the IRA. Without this information, the revolution risked collapse. For hours, Collins pored over classified documents, maps of IRA hideouts, surveillance reports, and enemy strategies. It was intelligence gold, a breakthrough that would turn the tide of war. But as dawn approached, Broy knew time was running out. With the castle still asleep, he guided Collins back into the shadows. They vanished into the Dublin streets just as the city began to stir.
Secrecy was our weapon. One slip, and the war was lost. Michael Collins, as cited in Michael Collins, The Man Who Made Ireland by Tim Pat Coogan.
Beneath the emerald hills and ancient forests of Ireland, legends whisper, history breathes, and forgotten stories await. Welcome to Emerald Chronicle, your gateway to Ireland's hidden past. Discover short, immersive documentaries that unveil forgotten myths, epic legends, and the rich tapestry of Irish history. From the mysteries of old folklore to the stories that shaped a nation, all brought to life with stunning visuals and authentic sounds. Join a global community of curious minds and history lovers. Subscribe now and start your journey into Ireland's soul. Emerald Chronicle, unveiling Ireland's past, one story at a time.
No double agent walks away unscathed. The Irish War of Independence was coming to its bloody conclusion, and with it, the fate of spies was being decided. How did Broy survive the shifting tides of war? As British forces ramped up their crackdowns, the IRA's intelligence network worked at a feverish pace. Collins knew that the final stages of the war would be fought not only on the streets, but in the shadows. Broy remained a vital asset. His access to British intelligence files gave the IRA the ability to predict and counter enemy movements. But with victory on the horizon, betrayal loomed closer than ever. The G Division, once feared for its ruthless efficiency, was collapsing. British intelligence officers had been assassinated, informants exposed, and their network shattered. Those still loyal to the crown scrambled to salvage their grip on Ireland. It was only a matter of time before Broy's cover was blown. But fate intervened. Just as British forces began their hunt for IRA spies within their ranks, Collins struck his most decisive blow. Bloody Sunday, November 21st, 1920, was the turning point, the day Collins' squad executed British intelligence officers in broad daylight. The British administration reeled, its intelligence operations in disarray. With the enemy's grip weakening, Broy narrowly escaped exposure. His role as a spy had nearly cost him his life, but his allegiance had never wavered. When the war ended and Ireland stood at the threshold of independence, Broy had secured his place in history.
Ireland's freedom was built on intelligence, not bullets alone. Michael Collins, as cited in The Man Who Made Ireland, The Life and Death of Michael Collins by Tim Pat Coogan.
The war was over, but a new battle was beginning, the fight to build an independent Ireland. Many revolutionaries stepped into leadership roles, while others faded into the background. Where did Broy fit in? With the Anglo-Irish Treaty signed, Ireland was entering a new phase. The revolutionary days were over, but the intelligence war had left scars. Broy had survived against the odds, but now his work in the shadows had to be transformed into a more official role. Many former IRA members and intelligence operatives stepped into government positions, helping shape the fledgling state. Broy, once a spy, was now becoming part of Ireland's police and intelligence apparatus. In 1923, Broy became deeply involved in the Irish Free State's intelligence services. The same skills that had made him a formidable double agent were now crucial to stabilizing the new government. His knowledge of British intelligence operations, counter-espionage tactics, and revolutionary warfare allowed him to shape Ireland's security strategies. But Ireland was no longer fighting the British. It was now battling internal conflicts. The civil war between pro-treaty and anti-treaty forces threatened to undo everything Ireland had fought for. Former comrades were now enemies, and the intelligence networks once used against the British were turned inward. Broy remained loyal to the new government, using his expertise to track opposition movements, prevent uprisings, and protect Ireland from instability.
The war against oppression is never truly over, it only changes shape. Ned Broy, as cited in Ireland's Intelligence War, Spies and Informants from 1916 to 1923 by David G. Hogan.
History remembers revolutionaries, leaders, and warriors. But what about the spies who operated in shadows? Ned Broy played a crucial role in shaping Ireland's future, yet his story remains largely forgotten. What was his ultimate legacy? With Ireland's independence secured and the intelligence war behind him, Broy stepped into a quieter life. His work in espionage had shaped the outcome of the revolution, but he had never sought personal glory. Unlike Collins, whose name became legend, Broy remained in the background, a silent architect of Ireland's intelligence strategy. Broy continued to serve the Irish government, lending his expertise to intelligence and security operations. His deep understanding of espionage allowed Ireland to strengthen its defenses against future threats. Yet, as time passed, his contributions were overshadowed by louder voices in history. The role of spies was always hidden, and Broy's story faded into obscurity. Though history does not place Broy alongside Ireland's great revolutionaries, those who understood the intelligence war recognize his impact. Without the silent work of men like him, the Irish War of Independence could have taken a very different path. Today, his legacy is not carved in monuments or retold in grand speeches, but it lingers in the foundations of Ireland's intelligence forces.
History remembers the battles, but it is intelligence that decides them. Irish Intelligence Report, as cited in The Secret War, Irish Intelligence from 1916 to 1945 by Eamon Broy.
Step into the past and uncover the heart of Ireland. At Emerald Chronicle, we bring you hundreds of captivating documentaries exploring Irish history, myths, legends, and folklore. Our playlists guide you through Ireland's fascinating journey, from prehistoric Ireland, proto-historic and Celtic eras, and the early Christian and Viking periods, to the Anglo-Irish invasion and the lordship of Ireland.
delve deeper into the Tudor conquest and religious conflicts, the union with Great Britain and the Great Famine, the fight for independence and the divisions of the 20th century, and Ireland's evolution into the 21st century. Best of all, we keep all our documentaries at 15 minutes or less, making it easy to explore Ireland's history, even on a busy day.
Every time you watch, you're supporting the upkeep of our channel. And when you share Emerald Chronicle, you're helping to promote Irish history and culture worldwide. We kindly ask you to like and share, and subscribe to Emerald Chronicle now. Let's keep Ireland's stories alive together.